Still the odd snow flurry as we welcome you to Regina and the Canadian Curling Trials. It's day one on TSN. She won it last February in Sudbury, her third Canadian championship. Colleen Jones and her team from Halifax went on to Switzerland and captured the world. Now they want Olympic gold. Sherry Anderson has been absolutely dynamite when it comes to winning money on the women's tour, but when it comes to winning a Scot, she's struggled. This native of Prince Albert would like to be the queen of curling. Season's greetings from the city of Regina as City Hall is all decked out for the holidays. Hi again, everyone, and welcome back to Regina and TSN's first day of coverage of these Canadian curling trials. It is draw 2 for the women. They got things going bright and early this morning. And in our featured game, it will be the reigning Canadian and world champion from Halifax, the Mayflower Curling Club, Colleen Jones, going against one of the best women's teams on their annual Bonspiel tour. Sherry Anderson has won over $100,000 the last 3 years on the tour, and she is one of 3 teams from Saskatchewan in the women's draw. As on this cold Regina night, December 1st, let's remember, nice to go inside and warm up at the Agrodome, joining Linda and Ray.
Well, that is the biggest contrast, Vic, between the two teams we're going to see. Sherry Anderson, big cash spiel winner, and Colleen Jones just doesn't play it as much. You know,
and also, she doesn't get the credit she deserves as far as I'm concerned, Linda. You know, she, as Vic's already mentioned, she's a 3-time Canadian and a world champion. But it's obvious to all that play her, and I think all that watch over the years, that she's not as comfortable when there are a lot of rocks in play. And it's kind of interesting. This week, she's going to have to be. Now, she has a terrific team. There's no question. Kim Kelly, in particular, is always the MVP or the all-star third. So I think that if Colleen really would get her head around those stones and get into it a little bit more, she could play that kind of a game. She's going to be forced to play it this week.
Yeah, 4-rock rule, of course, here. Now, Colleen Jones in the first game was terrific. But if you want to try and keep it a little more open, you need the big game from the third. And it is Kim Kelly, former MVP, that has to give it to her. If you look at that matchup, yes, Kim Kelly 8 times to the Scott Tournament of Hearts. Wonderful career shooting percentage, and she needs that kind of game all week to keep it open for her skip. Kim Hodson, playing for Sherry Anderson, doesn't have the Scott experience. Yes, she's been at juniors and the mixed, but it's a little bit different, and I really think the key for Sherry Anderson to close it down, play the come-arounds, is for Kim Hodson to have a great week. And it will be, I think, the key matchup tonight.
And Vic, that's not cold.
Said by a man who's sitting there with a blanket over his knees. Coming up, Jones and Anderson from Regina.
The 2001 Canadian Curling Trials on TSN are brought to you by the all-new 2002 Toyota RAV4. You belong outside.
Yeah, we're playing for a chance to win a medal in Salt Lake City. 10 teams in this round robin, with 3 making it through to the playoffs. Here are all the games. Second draw, women's play. 2 teams looking for their first wins from Quebec and Madaw from Ontario. Colleen Jones, Sherry Anderson. That is our featured game. Ridgeway from Saskatchewan, Kathy King, formerly Kathy Borst, Canadian champion. Heather Fowley and Kelly Law, both winners in their first draw this morning. And Sherry Fraser goes against the third Saskatchewan team, and that's Amber Holland. Our featured game will be on Sheet B, and we have seen throughout the morning draw and the afternoon, the ice ray is terrific.
Victor, none of these conditions are almost perfect. Let's talk about the curl. Lots of it so you can get behind those stones. Around the center guard, about 4 to 4.5. They break very late. Around the corner guard, the same thing, about 4 to 4.5. And once again, as they move into the slide path, they'll break late. Now, from the outside in, they hold a long time, then break at the end, about 3 to 3.5. Now, the key here is when you're playing down that 4-foot path line, be careful, because when it hits the line, it will break quickly. They'll stay out for a while. The slide path will flatten out a little bit, and you're going to see lots of rocks in play.
Canadian champion 3 times, now a world champion. The team from the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, Nancy Dillahunt, Marianne Way, Kim Kelly, and their skip Colleen Jones. And from the Delisle Curling Club in Delisle, Saskatchewan, Donna Gignac, Sandra Mulroney, Kim Hodson, and Sherry Anderson. And it'll be Colleen Jones playing the red stone. She'll have the hammer. Anderson, the yellow. And so Anderson's lead, Donna Gignac, will get us going.
Well, we saw Colleen Jones this afternoon, Linda, play a great shot. It was the 6th end, I believe it was, and she played an angle raise and for 3 and really took control of her game. And it was in the 6th end.
Yes.
And there was lots of rocks in play that particular end, and she took advantage of, you know, that kind of a shot is because it's a hit, basically, hitting a rock. When you're raising a stone, you have to hit it on the right angle. You know, she's very good at it. Just, it seems to me, and that when she has to come up with sort of kind of the in-between weight, that the back 12-foot weight and the light hack weight is where sometimes she has a little bit of problem.
So
how much problem she's represented Nova Scotia, what, 15 times?
Something like that. If you look at the matchup, I think you made a good point earlier today. It's Sherry Anderson playing against Nancy and the girls from Nova Scotia that has to rebound. And you talked about it as being maybe the key for the week, is how you play after a game that didn't go as well. And Colleen Jones had a pretty good first game, but Sherry Anderson lost to Sherry Fraser in the first round. So a chance for Sherry Anderson to try and get back.
Yeah, I really believe that. It's the teams that can put the loss, because everybody's going to have a loss. No one's walking through this thing undefeated. And it's the team that is able to put the loss aside and move on to the next game, and is the team that's going to be there at the end.
But I think some things hold true from events like the Scott Tournament of Hearts. If you should lose to the first day, you'd like to get out of the day at least 1-1. I think, Linda, that's fair?
I think if for nothing else, confidence. I think we've already said it could be a number of losses that still get you into the playoffs, but it's tough to get that down that early, and also to lose a little bit of confidence with the 2 losses.
I think you're right. You're both right. I think one of the things I think, though, that these teams are so mature, Vic, that let's think back a little bit. Last year at the Scott, for example, Sherry Maddaw got off to a very, very bad start. I think she was 3 losses and a win or something at one time out of her first 4 games. I talked to Glenn Howard after the Skins, for example. He was saying, you know, they go off to Florenceville, they lose their first 2. They're, you know, it looks like they're going home. Next thing you know, he's cashed a check for $100,000 and driving a brand new Ford Expedition or something. You know? And the same thing. So I think these teams, you're right, when you get down, but these teams are so mature that I think that most of them can put those things aside, and they also play enough that they know they can turn it around.
I think one other key, and it's interesting, Colleen comes with a mental trainer, but every team but one on the women's side has a coach. And I think that's another thing that really helps calm them down and get them right focused on the game plan for the next game.
This is a wide open end.
Yep. Oh, clean. Throw, Marianne.
Once we see some draws, it'll be key to get the weight quickly, and we measure between the hog lines for these ice times. Hits are 9 seconds, hack weight 11. Draw around 14. It might actually go up a little bit, and guard 15.5 plus. And if Sherry Anderson does manage to close it down, they'll need to find that draw weight quickly. If you hear the sweepers, you'll probably hear them talk about an interval, and that's the first interval, backline to hog, 3.75. Then you have hog to tee and backline to tee, the longer distances for trying to communicate the draw weight to your teammates.
Marianne Way as we play second stones in this first end. It's the second draw of women's play.
The thing that makes this particular event, I think, a little bit different than the Scott and the Briar is that, you know, you win the Scott, and then a month later you go to the Scott or whatever it may be. You know, it's something depending on the province. You win the Briar, then a month later you go to the Briar. But this particular event, these teams have known that they're going to be here in December, so all of them have really put programs into play, you know, and physical conditioning programs and mental preparation programs. So it's really obvious to me when you look out there how fit, you know, all the curlers really are. They're really conditioned and ready to go. So I think that sometimes later, and Linda, you have certainly experienced this, especially for the skips, later in the week at the Scott or the Briar, it does get you're mentally fatigued. You really are tired. And now, especially since we play the free guard zone rule, and here's the four rock rule, and it's just, I think the physical conditioning that these teams are in now will really help them this week as we move into, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
I think you're absolutely right, and also the mental training that I just mentioned. Most of them have had sports science support in both physical and mental preparation.
Hurry.
And that'll help if they do have a mistake, a bad loss, something like that.
Is it up a bit? Is that what you were saying?
I'm a great believer in positive thoughts. You know, those positive thoughts. I want nothing but positive thoughts. And that's really hard after you miss 2 in a row.
Well, you wouldn't know about that, right?
Clean. Clean. Yep. Clean. Yep. Just clean. Well, just clean. Trap.
Any team here or any team in this country that think they could just play up and down the ice with Colleen Jones and beat her is just kidding themselves, because she's the best at it. They really are, and she has a terrific team. This young lady, Kim Kelly, she can shoot with the best of them, and it's a good strong front end. They have good brushing. They can play up and down the sheet as well as anybody in this game in this world. And that was what amazed all of us. Remember when we got to Europe, we were really, and there's another example, Vic. I mean, I think, correct me if I'm wrong again, I think Colleen lost her first 2 games last year in Lausanne, and then she just fought back. But what amazed us when we were over there watching it all was that how open the Europeans let her play.
Very much.
The whole week, Vic, that no one would put any rocks in play, and there's no one in the world can play it better than Colleen.
That's why I don't think you'll see Sherry Anderson make that mistake. You see this first end very open. I don't think she'll keep it open much longer.
Yep. Clean. Whoa, just clean. Whoa. Shot.
So an exchange of stones.
Yep.
And now we'll await the first skip stone from Colleen Jones. You're right, 15 appearances at the Scott Tournament of Hearts. One of only 2 players, it was pointed out, that has played in her curling career in tournament play, played in every province in our country.
The Scott being held in every...
No, through junior and Scott play and mixed play, she's played in every province. Yep.
That's amazing what you 2 can dig up, you know? Those stats.
And I believe her first win at the Scott Tournament of Hearts was right here in Regina, was it not?
Yep.
1982.
Hard, girl. Hurry,
Of course, you were a competitor in those days.
All the way.
I was trying to be in 1982. That's right.
Good sweep.
Can't hold the shooter.
Wide open.
Sorry. Little tight?
I think more than anything, what stands out for me is the competitiveness. Never lost it. Still likes the game. Still loves the game. Still wants to be out there competing. When you see so many athletes in other sports, you know, say after a while, I've just really had enough.
You know, that's an interesting, you know, when we have a wide open end, that's an interesting concept. You know, it's really hard to get this game, I know Linda's been able to do it, but really hard to get this game out of your blood system. And I still personally love playing it. I get a real high out of it. Even the lows, even the losses in competition are a type of a high. You know, they're just the fact that you're competing. I still really love it. And And it's interesting because you hear a lot of guys think, well, I think I'll pack it up. I think I'll quit. These are guys that have played 140 and 150 games a year, and all of a sudden you're not playing.
I'd like to take an
now I
inch
realize
more,
that you know, you've got personal things you want to do and time to spend with your children and so on and so forth. So, because this game is very time consuming.
Inch more, Nance.
But it's hard to get out of your system.
Whoa, whoa. Great to tee. So that.
So wide open in for Sherry Anderson as Nancy Delahunt, who throws the lead stone. If you haven't seen this before, this is the
Little less, Nance. I
usual
don't
way
wanna
she,
go by the whole thing.
Colleen, when I say she, Colleen
would be
relies a lot on Nancy. And so Nancy will hold the brush, and Kim Kelly, being considered the better brusher, will work the stone with Marianne Way. Final stone looking for the blank here in this first.
Yep. Hard. Hurry. Hurry hard. Quick. Okay.
Nope, can't lose it. And so Jones forced to take one here in the first. Sherry Anderson will have the hammer when we come back to Regina.
I thought, oh, I guess she wants to see.
Let's begin our updates here in this second draw of women's play. The game between Marie-France LaRouche from the Victoria Curling Club in Saint-Paul, Quebec against Coldwater, Ontario's Sherry Middaugh. Middaugh playing the Yellowstones. Both teams losing their opening games this morning. And this is a draw for two. You see the Yellowstone top 12 just nibbling at the top of the 8. That's one shot, and she'll find the hole here and put it into the 4-foot. 2 for Middaugh with the hammer in the first. Look at the rocks in play here. And there's a red stone at the back of the button. That belongs to Sherry Fraser. Final stone for the skip from the Richmond Curling Club, playing Amber Holland from the Cali here in Regina, trying a double angle raise to pick that Yellowstone out. Oh, she just misses. She'll get one. And so Sherry Fraser is on the board, 1-0 against Amber Holland. The game between Heather Fowley out of the Calgary Curling Club against Kelly Law, Royal City New West. That was a blank. And Kathy King, the former Kathy Borst of the Otwell in Edmonton, with a 1-0 lead over Michelle Ridgway from the Cali here in Regina. And failing the blank, Jones takes one. And so here in the second, it is Sherry Anderson with the hammer.
69.
But a real surprise for me in this end, because
Here, guys.
we expected Colleen Jones to bring the first rock in, which she did. Sherry Anderson went right after it with a takeout, and I thought she might try something a little more, mixing it up, even a tap back, but didn't play the open hit. Colleen Jones had a rollout, so now we're seeing a guard be put up, but it's a little late for doing that sort of technique.
Well, you know that Colleen's going to peel it for sure. They're looking for a corner guard. He just slipped a little too close to the rings, but Marianne Way, the intern hit.
Nice throw.
Nice soft
Clean.
release.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa, close. No, no.
And it will
Nice shot,
just sit. T-line hanging on to the edge of the 12. Sandra Mulroney, the native of Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario.
Marie, quick! Marie, hard! Yeah, I know, I will.
Boards first? Yes, board first.
Okay.
So now Colleen can force the play here, try and split the rings, I would think, and try to force
I do.
Anderson to take one.
You know, Sherry got the break in the first end. Colleen trying to blank stuck on that takeout. And I really thought that they would force it more, but now you're right, Vic, a chance for Colleen Jones to do the same thing, try and force a single from her opponent.
But she could still, could she not, Ray, still be aggressive even at this point, Anderson, if she wants to take the play to Colleen, and even despite the fact that the stones are in the rings, no?
Oh, sure, she could play the freeze to the face of a stone.
What?
Especially if they slip behind the tee line like this is going to.
Hey, Marianne.
Just play down to it.
There's the call.
Sandra, who played in the
They're on
'97
its own. Lots.
Olympic trials in Brandon, but she played then with Sherry Madaw
Okay,
and
Sandra.
Sherry Sharrock.
Oh, it's going
Just
sideways, guys.
That actually caught something, or it would have been too strong.
Yeah.
Follow that one down.
Yeah. I already said okay.
Second draw for the men
I think it'll go.
is Sunday morning
everything
here in
will go.
Regina, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. local, 7 Pacific. And it's Kevin Martin against Bert Gretzinger. The great Gretzinger. Both winners in their first draw. So join
Yeah, Bert.
John Wells, Kathy Gauthier, and
Real hard.
Guy Hemmings.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And there's the mistake that Anderson needed.
That's why you play the freeze, and now you get a chance to spread the rocks out a little bit. The outturn draw, and the opportunity to possibly pick up a deuce. This is curling without complication.
You can sweep.
T-line, yeah.
Look out. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh. Oh. This is okay. Right here. Yep. Right to my broom. Right to my broom.
Nice shot by
Shot,
Kim.
Kim.
Kim Hodson, the former Canadian junior champion of 1985. Two Kims at third. Kim Kelly.
No.
Sherry Anderson will look to exchange hits to try and get her two.
Needs to go funny there.
You mentioned Kim having experience not at the Scott level, at the mixed, where she played in 3 mixed, Linda,
No, right off. Off,
back in
off,
Weyburn.
off.
When we were
Whoa,
there a couple of years ago
off.
for the Canadian Mixed Championship, she was the All-Star. Third.
Shot, Kim.
And it will
Who's that? Ghana.
sit in time to sit 2.
Ghana.
Sometimes it's hard to differentiate between the.
It's hard to imagine anything upsetting Colleen. You would think that she has seen it all, probably even all kinds of pressure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, she's been 15 times to the provincial championship. She's played in the Canadian juniors. I mean, she's experienced every. You know, I guess that's what really happened. I mean, just to hear what you say about. I mean, I guess she's always had such great success playing the game. And of course, let's remember the rule came in what change came in what 94, 93, 94.
Yep.
And she's always had such great success just playing the game very simply and getting the rocks spread around, and so she just never really felt that she had to force anything. And she, as we've already mentioned so many times, she's 15 times to the provincial, to the Scott, and 3-time winner. So great career, wonderful career.
Vic, one of the things I think that she did do is go to her sports psychologist, her current coach, because maybe there was something lacking, that maybe so many times to a Canadian you just don't have the oomph anymore or the excitement, and I think that's been a big difference for Colleen and her team over the last couple of years.
This is a golden opportunity for Sherry Anderson to get a deuce and take a 1-point lead in this game. Out-turn hit.
Whoa. Close, clean, clean. Yep.
The ice is just gorgeous. So if you are a curler and you're sitting at home, and this ice surface is so nice that it really almost becomes hard to miss.
Good job in holding the shooter there. So Anderson continues to lie too. I think too, Linda, when it comes to Colleen and so many trips, and Ray alluded to it in your opening, that, you know, she doesn't get enough respect. She didn't get the respect because of all those trips when she never won and she failed. Well, now you've won it 2 years in the last 3, and you're a world champion. Now I think she has the respect.
A little roll to the wings just to...
Now you have to play for another reason. Your desire to play comes from where, do you think? And from what?
Well, for this week, I think it's a desire to do something that she has yet to do, and that's play in the Olympics.
Yep.
They have nothing to prove at the Canadian or world level,
Clean.
except
Clean.
they want that gold medal at the Olympics.
Whoa. Clean. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And there's a hidden stick, and now a chance for the deuce. Oh, maybe roll out. Too premature with my call. Looked like it was going to hit and stick. Free draw for, open draw for Sherry Anderson. I had a payday today, Vic. Actually, I remember a couple of games ago I told you that I had made my 2 boys, intern and outturn, sign a contract that I would receive 15% of all their winnings from now to the time I pass away. And
Yes.
And today they are in a cash bond spiel at the Wildwood Curling Club in Winnipeg, and they won their first game, and they got $16. So, so the old Moose is in for a payday.
So
Now,
the whole
let's-
crew should benefit from that after
Well,
this game.
I'll be
shouldn't they?
buying, of course.
Yeah,
And of course, that doesn't seem like a lot, but let's remember 15 years from now when they were playing for that big bread.
That's right.
Be close, eh? Don't know if you need much on it, though.
Draw for 2 for Sherry Anderson. I don't
Clean.
know if she expected to get a
Clean,
2
please.
when this
Keep it
one
clean.
started off, this end. But here she is. Put it in the paint, and she'll have her deuce.
And the time looks just right.
You bet.
And Anderson's team agrees with you, Linda. You bet. So Anderson picks up a pair to take a 2-1 lead in what has been so far a very wide open second game, second draw on the women's side. We welcome you back to the Agrodome. Here in Regina, it's day 1 of the Canadian curling trials, men's and women's play, to determine who will represent Canada at the Winter Games in Salt Lake.
Close to big and tight, eh?
2-1,
We're very
Sherry
tight.
Anderson leading
Little bit.
Colleen Jones as we play in the third,
Big
and
shot,
Jones
Donna.
Atta girl, Donna.
with
Nice
the
lead.
hammer.
Wow.
My name is Nancy Delahunt. I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I'm a full-time mother to 2 children, Jane, aged 9, and Kevin, aged 7.
Nice throw. Line's locked. Line's great.
Did you sense that Nancy had to think about the names just for a second there? Just like,
You're so cruel. You know,
I'm not quite sure what their names are, but I know I've got 2.
Hard. Oh.
Hey, whoa, whoa, not in.
So close. She should be in, yeah.
Hi, I'm Donna Geniak from Paddockwood, Saskatchewan. I work in Prince Albert dental assisting for Drs. Slowenko, Koberlin, and Deutsch, and I'd like to say hi to Henry, Anders, and Tara.
Little, Quite control.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Yep. Hurry. Yep. Right up. Right on the nose. Shot, Donna. Very nice.
And right on the beak.
And 2 rocks in the free guard zone area.
In the control zone.
Controlla zona.
Control zone.
Tomorrow we go to the mountain. For sure, that's clear.
Got room.
It is true.
Yep. Got room.
We're hanging around those Swedes and Danes too much.
Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry. Sorry, I thought we were pretty close.
Nancy Delahunt with her second stone. The Jones lead, and it'll slip to the back edge of the 8.
And that is too deep. Those 2 nice stones in front of the house, and now the chance to come around them, top of the house.
Sandra Mulroney.
Hurry for line.
We gotta go for weight, don't we?
Quick. Yeah, right up, right up. Bump off.
Might go for the little bump instead here. Bumps
All right,
it.
Sandra.
Top 12. Shot stone still back edge of the 8.
Well, Marianne, I think it's 4.5, I'll tell you that much. And I was trying to throw that, and I obviously was heavy. So that means 4.5 is good.
Hi, I'm Marianne Way from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I'm a massage therapist at the Advanced Wellness Center.
Line's great.
67, Kim.
Yep. Line only. Whoa.
Kim Kelly closest to the stone. Nancy Delahunt out in front.
Yep. Yep. Line only. Hurry. Where? Whoa, you're fine. Oh.
Whoa, whoa, baby.
And this too will slip just behind the tee line back of the button.
Hi, I'm Sandra Mulroney from Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan, and I'm an occupational therapist.
Well, Nancy went deep with hers, Linda, and now this one's a little bit deep. From Marianne, are they having trouble figuring it out, the ice?
The weight seems to be the same. Just to give you an idea, we talked about the perfect split interval backline to hog. It should be 3.75. The red stone that came deep, that's 3.67. That's how fine the line is between just being a little bit too strong.
Pretty nice shot there.
From Sandra Mulroney. As Anderson is now lying 1 without here in the 3rd. Anderson leading 2-1.
Want to go have a look, Marianne?
They're going to bail out by opening up. They're just talking about which stones to try and move.
I don't mind this one here, and I'm afraid that if we go here, we might bounce there. I'd just rather 1 peel.
All right.
You heard the explanation.
Why does she not mind the 1 top 12?
She could get them both off, Vic. There's no question.
Yep, hard.
I'm not sure of the reasoning behind her explanation.
Good. Okay.
You could maybe help me out a bit on that.
I thought maybe they would go for a double peel of some nature as well.
You can see, and you can.
So 4.
Sherry Anderson running right out. Let's put it right back.
Yeah, Sandra? No. I got 74 on her last one.
Hi, I'm Kim Hodson. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and I'm a full-time mother to 3 children, Andrew, Brooklyn, and Paige.
Lots.
And her first stone as we play third stones in the 3rd.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Harvey? Can we get it right to this? Freeze it then if you can. Yep. Hurry.
Maroney and Gignac now with it being heavy, trying to drag it right up to the face, right up on top.
That's all right, Kim.
And now Anderson without line 2.
I think it's better than all right, don't you?
Better come take a look.
Yeah, and great communication because they called out early that it was strong, and that's why they brushed it. Got it into a better spot than if they'd left it.
Can we get to the nose, though, and get that one off? You know, and then
Because it's
rolling.
ugly. I almost think, Kim, our best way is right here and there. And I think you're going to lose
Marie-France
this,
LaRouche
but at least
scores
this is
3
going to
in the
bounce
second to
there.
take the lead on Sherry
Yeah.
Madaw.
Yeah.
Our featured game.
Yeah.
Kathy King steals 1, now leading 2-0. Not a lot happening there through 2.
I think if we hit it right
and
here.
Amber Holland has
and this
come
is
back
gonna
with
go,
a pair
but at least this
out
is
of the
going to be
Cali
back
Regina
here in the,
to lead
open.
Sherry Fraser.
Do you think, Kim? Look at it
Well, I'm
there.
hoping.
Look at it on the monitor.
If we go right here, Marianne, right here onto that, this is going to bounce to there. But what's our other option? Aren't they just going to guard?
This will go on to this one here. She heard her say, of course, you're going to lose that one.
I kind of think.
And she hopes this
think
goes
that if
over
we
this
get, as long
way.
as we hit it thin enough, we're going to bounce that to there.
The middle yellow one is going to go nowhere. It may move out a little bit into the open, but bounce out into the open.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kim Kelly from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and I enjoy being the mother of Brett and Madison.
Hard. Real hard.
This has to be thin. You don't want to just bounce it more behind the guards.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
That was the worst thing.
Yeah, now those 2 are glued on the button.
Kim was narrow, but this was a tough way to play this. I think Marianne was trying to encourage Colleen to try and roll the other way and at least get something behind cover. So now a guard.
Want to protect it all? Do you want to overlap the guards, or what are you trying to do?
Just a guard here is.
Got lots of line.
You don't want it too deep. Don't let her play in the house.
Hurry!
You're okay. Whoa, whoa, you're okay.
Okay, no then, no, just here. Just keep it clean. It's clean. That's good, that's good, that's good. Shot.
Nice and thin.
Yeah.
Nice and thin. You could get to the nose of it. You'd kill the 2 yellow and leave your redstone here. But she's playing it on the thin side to come down, hit it here, and trying to drive it across this way. But you don't want the same thing to happen.
Yep.
Kim Kelly in her second.
Hurry, hurry.
Nice and thin is what she asked for, and she'll leave the top stone sitting right there.
It's a little bit puzzling the way she's looking at some of these angles.
Yeah, it's 2 in a row that I don't really agree with the way that was played.
Okay.
Nice spot for Sherry Anderson. Put up another guard.
Okay, guys. Anywhere over the... I don't think I want this real tight. I don't. I think halfway. I'm going to try to throw like 16 or 17.
Hi, I'm Sherry Anderson from Delisle, Saskatchewan, and I am a homemaker.
And the winner of $126,000 the last 3 years on the women's tour.
Line's good. And just clean. Line's good.
Line's nice.
Just halfway,
Wait on
guys.
me.
Just clean. Just keep it clean.
In fact, these 2 teams were
Just clean.
the first two teams to actually qualify
Whoa, just clean.
for
Clean only.
these
Whoa, no sweep. No.
Olympic trials, or
Wherever we
these
stop.
Canadian
Whoa,
curling
no sweep.
trials.
No.
Jones, by virtue of her win in the Scott in '99, and then Anderson, with a terrific year, won the women's tour
No, just clean.
in '99. So they were the first two to qualify.
I think we have to split them off this way. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's a mess for Colleen.
I think if you go back 3 or 4 stones, what Colleen should have done, instead of trying to hit the one that she was trying to hit thin and then the other angle back when she was back in this area, she should have got rid of tried to get rid of those 2 stones that were out in front in the beginning, and that's what she's trying to do right now.
Other one out of the way. The guard, the yellow guard. Well, they're sort of lined up. Double off the first 2 and then have...
Hi, I'm Colleen Jones from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I work at CBC Morning News doing weather and sports, and I have 2 wonderful sons. Zach is 15 and Luke is 8. And I've got my dog Bruno, 2 cats, and still 5 fish.
Yep. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
So she hasn't lost any fish over because she had 5 fish last year.
That's right.
Whoa!
I didn't think fish lived that long.
Great shot.
Nice shot.
That's very nice to get that opened up. And she at least has a stone now that she can work with out in front.
You know, she can't lose both of those.
I think we still have to guard it on this side, though.
Do we guard it or do we suck one right in there? Oh, I don't mind getting.
I don't mind coming right on top of it.
There's no tripping.
I'm okay with that.
But let's make sure. I think with some sweep.
Yeah,
Same ice.
Yeah.
Same weight. Yeah. If a guard's okay, but I wouldn't mind to be right on top of it.
Yeah.
Well, you heard the conversation.
Let's put one right down on top of us, guys.
She's coming right down on top.
Yeah, I'm going to try to throw the same thing. What? Well, they're frozen. I don't think there's any way there's a double there. Yeah, sure.
I was just going to ask that if in
same
fact
thing.
she could hurt herself by coming down on top, but the fact that those are frozen,
if
is
not, just
that the reasoning here?
She can help herself if she gets one right down on top. She can.
Yeah, right now, no matter what she does, it's really tough to get rid of one of those 2 yellows.
Got rim, lots of rim.
Let it bend. Let it bend.
Hey, wait, you got rim.
We've seen very consistent
got
times,
rim.
around 14
Got
seconds.
Rim. Yep. Line's great.
Gignac and Mulroney with the brush, trying to drag it for all it's worth. Take it right down to the face. Top 4, get it close, and they're lying 3 without.
That took that side of the button away from her, too.
Nice work by Mulroney and Gignac. And now, with her final
Well, if you want to run
stone,
it back and catch
Colleen
it there.
Jones.
Yeah. And play this, the double on these 2. Yeah, they're so tight.
Robert Preston said that's trouble.
In River City?
In River City.
With a capital T?
He's going to try to run back, get rid of a couple of them. And one in the center is going nowhere.
Do you, could you play off
It's almost
theirs
there.
on the side? Did that get you any more action if you came in at another angle? Or?
I guess if you hit her right in the pocket, get rid of the two. We could maybe get rid of the 2 at the back behind the one on the top 4 foot. But
she's trying to cut her losses here.
She is.
Final stone, Colleen Jones.
Yeah.
Trying to run her own back.
Whoa. Whoa.
Kelly,
Yeah.
way backing right off.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Angle it back. And we'll leave two.
Colleen. 2 yellow.
Steal of 2 for Sherry Anderson here in the third. Anderson and the team from Delisle played it well. Let's continue our updates in this second draw of women's play with Marie-France LaRouche against Sherry Madaw. LaRouche scoring 3 in the second. This will be the final stone for the skip from the Coldwater Curling Club, Sherry Madaw. Front end of Sherry Cordina and Andrea Laws. Facing one, you see it. And now the raise, and will it stop in time? Very nice. She'll pick up the single to tie it at 3 going to the fourth. Now we go to the game between Michelle Ridgway from the Cali in Regina against Kathy King out of the Otwell in Edmonton. 2-0. You saw Roberta Materi saying it's a little hot. She and Joan Stricker the front end. Laurie Keeler calling it. Oh, nice brush to get it by. Avoid the jam. They do, and they'll score 2 to tie it. Ridgway with a pair in the third. It's 2-2 going to the fourth. After a couple of blanks, Kelly Law scores 1 as we saw Heather Fowley about to throw, and Amber Holland with a 2-1 lead over Sherry Fraser as they still play in the third. And now you are up to date in our featured game. Anderson with a steal of 2. 4-1, she leads Jones. And the team from the Mayflower in Halifax, the reigning Canadian and world champion, Colleen Jones, has the hammer.
Well, the first rock to the top of the forefoot, that's the rock you come into view in a moment. Colleen Linda played up a corner, but it really curled too much. It's over by the boards.
Freeze right onto it.
Yep. We should maybe explain. I was very critical of Colleen in the last stand, and just to explain, Colleen tried a couple of angles which required a very thin hit. The stones she was playing, were very close together. Tough angles, tough, very thin hits, and that's why she got into trouble. And Sherry Anderson really didn't have to work as hard to get that steal. So Colleen's got a ways to come back in this game. I want to give a big lead to somebody like Sherry Anderson. She likes to play it close, but they can also run with it.
Nancy Delahunt with the run back, gets the stones off the center. Very busy Saturday, and so Sports Center will wrap it up for you. Congratulations to St. Mary's Huskies. They are the Vanier Cup champions, winners over the Manitoba Bison. And of course, all the NHL action for a Saturday. Sports Center immediately following. Tough couple of weeks for Manitoba football.
Yeah, it's actually the third or fourth time you've mentioned it. It's been a tough week. I mean, but you can't lose it if you don't get there.
That's the truth.
Of course, the two men's teams from Manitoba also lost in curling today, so it's just not a great day for Manitoba.
And there's not a Manitoba ladies team here. Why don't you finish it off?
Poor Ray.
Sandra Mulroney.
Well, yep. Well, yeah. Kim, roll it a little bit. That's good, I think. Shot, Sandra.
July 2. Now, you were wondering earlier why Sherry wasn't being aggressive. Is she, in fact, being aggressive now?
That's okay, too.
Or, Linda, to use the cliche, taking what Colleen is giving her, and Colleen's team isn't. really executing that well. So she's just taking advantage of that. She's not necessarily doing anything, is she?
No, it
Whoa,
actually the
sorry,
two in the second end that she got, that was on a mistake by Colleen Jones's team.
Sorry, was thinking
Again,
of Kim's.
last end, a couple of mistakes by Colleen and a steal of 2, so it's actually been a pretty easy way to get ahead.
And even that call's kind of interesting, Linda, because I mean you're down 4-1, and why are you taking that rock off the front? You should be in some fashion coming around it and getting it on an angle, or
Don't take me too far
doing
over
anything
there.
with it. I certainly wouldn't be hitting it. But
You're thinking 9? Not much.
Kim Hodson.
Top 4 here, guys. Top 4.
Hi.
Bite the 4. Bite the 4. Yep. Yep. Running out of 4. Okay, top 8's good. Full 8. Sorry, Kim. Didn't give me enough
And
ice.
full 8 is what they get to lie 2, splitting the rings again.
Pretty much 4 to where you have to go to.
Kim Kelly now trying the freeze.
Should be good.
Got room. Got room. Only for weight. Coming though. Still got. Yep.
How's the line there?
Line's fine. Line's over curling.
Oh, okay. Lovely weight, Kim.
Okay.
Yep. Just regular. Can I keep it up a hair? Or you want regular? Okay, you can keep it up a hair. Just a hair, yep.
Now, what would be the advantage, or why would Kim want to keep it up a hair? Is it something about the way she wants to throw it, Linda? Why would she just want that little extra?
And they're not talking about a lot of difference in weight, but it's just something I guess she feels comfortable with.
And then, of course, by letting the skip know, and that probably is more weight than she expected.
That was pretty strong, you're right. Colleen looks like she's just going to try and get out of this end now.
Yep. Out.
Is this so straight?
Yep.
Oops.
Yep. Good.
I stopped up. I don't think that was good.
I don't think it was going there.
Shooting, guys.
It's appropriate, I think, with these Canadian curling trials underway. Our next TSN profile will feature Eddie Wernick, the wrench, and you'll see it Sunday, 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. TSN profiles the wrench.
one of the greats. It's also known as the sandbagger.
Yes, right.
Played a little golf against him.
Played a little
have
golf
you?
with him, yes. I asked him, Barry, what's your handicap? Well, he says it varies who I'm playing.
Clean, clean.
What a player. The hours of entertainment he gave us over the years. Fabulous, good, or terrific guy.
I nicknamed him the master of maneuver because in skinge play, he was the master of moving stones around and setting it all up.
Yeah, that combination of Neil
Just
Harrison
play
and
for the
Pat
length of
Perot
setting,
and
try
John
again
Kawaja
next
was
time.
really hours and hours of entertainment, Vic, over the years as we watched them, you know, in the Briars and the World Championships. As Linda's already mentioned, the skins. So that would be a very appropriate profile.
You got that right.
Yep.
Colleen Jones in her first.
Hurry. Hard. Hard. Roll it. Way over. Yep. 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 nose it, that's fine. I don't mind a nose at all.
Yeah, it's very tempting to try and get the roll behind the guard, but as Sherry said, we don't want to roll all the way out and give her an easy pass, so make sure we stay in the rings. That guard is pretty far over.
If you can roll it right over for a bite, but I told Kim not to play it cute. I want to make sure we stick around. Oh, that was ugly. Yep.
Sherry Anderson in her last.
Right down.
Gina Mulroney trying to hold the line. Nose hit is what she'd take. She didn't want to lose the shooter, though.
She may have been down and weight a little bit, and I think maybe just a bit.
Down a bit, inside a bit. Not a good combination.
Hard combination.
Control.
And so the free pass for Colleen Jones here in the fourth. Marianne Way with a light dusting just to keep it clean. So Colleen Jones will get the blank
That's the end of that.
here in the fourth. Anderson continues to lead 4-1. Jones continues to have the hammer when we come back. Continuing with our updates, let's check in on the game between Michelle Ridgway out of Regina, Kathy King from Edmonton, as they play the fourth in a 2-2 tie. Final stone for King, the former Canadian champion, Canadian junior champion. She makes the angle double, and that stone at the back of the four is the go-ahead point. She leads now 3-2. To the game between Marie-France LaRouche from Saint-Foy, Quebec against Sherry Madaw, Coldwater, Ontario. Marie-France looking for the hit here on a stone top 12. She's lying one at the back. Outside, and now the jam, and Madaw with the steal of one. That red stone came off the boards, can't count that one. It's yellow, so Madaw leads 4-3. Fowley and Law tied 1-1, playing 5. And Holland with a steal of one to lead Sherry Fraser. Amber Holland, Sherry Fraser, 3-1. In our featured game, it's 4-1. Sherry Anderson from Delisle, Saskatchewan, leading Colleen Jones, and after the blank in 4, Jones still with the hammer.
It's a lot less.
Little bit. Hurry hard.
I got 88. What'd you get?
Hurry hard. Hurry, guys, right in. Okay,
First of Donna
okay.
Stones is in the house. Corner guard up by the Jones team, and now coming
right
back
in.
to the middle with this one.
We're better than I thought we were, Sandra.
All right, good shot, Donna. Good sweep, ladies.
Be interested to see how that corner guard comes into play, because Colleen's been playing them fairly wide. That means you need to get some sort of roll, or at least you need to make a double and try to get over there later.
Whoa.
You've seen the tendency to have those corner guards pull a little closer to the center line.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Now Sherry Anderson will just rip this off now. That's the you cannot lose the shooter in that situation. You've got to hold the shooter.
Sandra Mulroney. Shaking her head as if she doesn't like it.
She was
Donna,
inside.
Donna. Right over, right over.
Okay.
All right.
I upped my weight. It was up. And my thought process was last end, I wish I'd had more to get the double.
Halfway.
Marianne Way.
Yeah, sorry, Nance. I was just looking for a single. I should have told you regular.
I definitely threw you firm, sorry.
Oh, baby. Okay.
I like this. Heel.
Gets a little more complicated with 2 other yellow stones in play. Have to be careful not to jam it.
Whoa. Yep. Yep. Donna. Whoa.
Like that.
Sorry, Sandra.
And the jam will leave that Jones stone back 12.
We could just go corner again. To split.
Or behind the yellow. Do you think you got that, Marianne?
Not a lot there.
In here, split the rings.
Linda, let me ask you something. You're down 4-1. Again, your team isn't executing that well. The surest 2 points you could get, if you execute perfectly, would be how to get them. Is that maybe the way you should approach this end?
Well, they've got a huge break, so you're right, Vic. You don't want to get things too complicated, and I think that's what they're doing now. They're going to the open side.
And if you execute it properly, there's your 2.
Absolutely.
You're in.
And 2 points is big, you know. It's all of a sudden you're back in the game a little bit, and you didn't have to really do anything to. You got the jam, and
Just firm, Kim, not up. Like just firm, not
Firm,
this.
not up.
You can go up a little bit.
Okay.
hit and roll would be nice. Roll across the rings, in front of the back stone if possible.
For Kim Hodson.
Yep. Hard.
Boy, right out of her hand. You could hear her call on. Of course, she even released it. So big scrub now from Mulroney and Gignac.
Right up.
Good sweep.
Good shot.
It'll be a two-draw day for the men on Sunday, and their second draw will get our coverage going at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. Two winners on this first day of play, Kevin Martin out of Edmonton and Bert Gretzinger from Kelowna, BC. Gretzinger, former world champion with Rick Folk.
Nice throw.
A number of years ago.
They didn't want to roll over that far, Colleen Jones' team that is, so there is a chance for a double takeout. I've talked about the matchup
Did you
at
say
third.
same or regular? Same? What'd I give you? 2-9.
Just listening to them. And this is where you need a big shot from your third. You got a mistake earlier on a jam. Now Kim Hodson can get them out of trouble.
Again, right? As she let it go, and it's up to Gignac and Mulroney. Right up, make the double, run it back, catch it, no, drives it by, but then rolls a shooter in front.
Good sweep.
Definitely.
It's a good call now by Colleen. Come down, sit right
need all of that to go
on
back
top
there.
of this one, right there.
Yep, 4.1.
Hard. Hurry, hurry.
Looks like it has lots of weight. It's going to tap it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thanks for the info. Shot, Kim.
Well, I like just picking it, Kim. Like this.
Yeah, for sure. I like that.
Sanders didn't move too much. I gave her, well, she was a hair full, I guess, but.
So what are we throwing, firm?
I think, yeah, firm.
Okay.
Just playing the
Let's
pick.
just pick it out of there.
Well, that's what she means, just to come down.
Yeah. Sorry about yours, Sandra.
Pick it out this way, and the shooter will go this way.
Sherry Anderson
Queen.
with a 4-1 lead as we play in the fifth. Nice shot to pick.
As advertised.
Kind of tempted to bump it.
Yeah, well, I
To sit the two.
It'll leave them with a pretty easy double if you do that. I'm afraid she's going to just sit on top of us and then wait.
Nice throw.
Just freeze down to it, Colleen. Freeze in the face of it. If she wants to play a freeze, that's up to her.
And if a mistake is made, you can really get a good score.
Yeah, you could. And Nancy was right. If you tap it out of the rings, then it is a pretty easy double for Sherry to get at.
You guys think we should bump it right out or straight freeze? Okay, what's the time? I'm afraid that if we make it too perfect, then she just sits on top of us. Whereas if we... Yeah.
I like to freeze,
What's
quite
the time,
frankly.
4.5?
I don't know what she's doing here now. I'm not sure.
Just
but
4.
Come down and sit right on top of it, right there.
4.5 to the tee.
Colleen hasn't played a draw yet in this game. We used to give her a chance to get some feel for draw weight.
Line's great. Hard line, yep. What do you got? Yep. Hurry.
That's definitely strong.
Yep.
It's going to tap.
Yep, you gotta go. You gotta go. Stay on this side of it. Whoa. That's her other option. Good, Colleen.
Not so bad.
Same thing, Kim?
Yeah. That's exactly where you hit it, Sherry.
And that's exactly where I hit it?
Pretty close. You might have hit it a hair thicker than that. Like we're gonna have to hit this next one a hair thinner. Yeah, you just came by through here.
Yeah, well, all right, whatever. I gotta hit it here.
Yep. Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
For
We
the
didn't
double?
sweep it to begin with.
No.
Try and catch this one on the way by.
Half rock, guys. Watching TV in the middle of the game. Basically, well, Kim figured I hit half the rock. I didn't think I did hit that much with my first one.
They do have a large screen
Yeah.
at
that
one
was,
end of the Agrodome, and
firm.
many of the players, particularly if they're in the featured game, will look up as they see the replays of shots. Final stone for Sherry Anderson, looking for the double here in the fifth. Well, they have worked hard, these two, Gignac, Mulroney. Little bit more to hold it, catch it, run it back. Oh, and just that little bit of a jam on their own will leave the draw for 2
Sorry, guys.
for Colleen Jones.
Well, it's really been a strange kind of game. Sherry Anderson in this end got a mistake and actually apologized to her player, probably gave a little bit of the wrong ice. And so the jam occurred, and now Colleen Jones has a chance to get her 2, and that's the way it seemed that every end has gone. A little mistake has ended up giving a team a good chance to score.
Okay.
She was a little strong on the first. We're looking for 14.
Every bit, full 12. You got it, you got it. Stay hard, stay hard.
Full paint. We'll give her the 2.
That was great sweeping. 2 red.
Kim Kelly, Marianne Way, yeah, 2 red, no doubt.
Just in case. Always be just in case you're working.
So Colleen Jones and the team from the Mayflower and Halifax pick up a pair here in 5. We're halfway through. Sherry Anderson with a lead by 1.
Yeah, they all are.
Nancy Delahunt, Donna Gignac are the leads. Marianne Way and Sandra Mulroney are the seconds. Kim Kelly, Kim Hodson throw third stones, and the 2 skips. From the Mayflower and Halifax, Colleen Jones. And from the Delisle, Saskatchewan Curling Club, Sherry Anderson.
The 2001 Canadian Curling Trials on TSN are brought to you by the all-new 2002 Toyota RAV4. You belong outside.
Here are all the games in the men's second draw, which comes your way Sunday morning. Kevin Martin, Bert Gretzinger. John Morris, the former Canadian Junior World Junior Champion, against Randy Furby, the reigning Nokia Brier champion. Kerry Burtnick and Russ Howard, who with his brother now, Glenn, has joined him for these trials. And Kevin Park against Wayne Madaw, who dropped his opener. And in the final game, Jeff Stoughton, Canadian World Champion, Greg McCauley, Canadian World Champion, both losers on the opening day. And John Wells, Kathy Gauthier, and Guy Hemmings will have it for you.
Well, we've got some great teams in the men's field for sure, and we're going to feature 2 of the teams that came through this day with a 1-0, and it's not huge, but it's a great start. Kevin Martin and Bert Gretzinger. For the people at home that maybe aren't that familiar with Bert Gretzinger, what can you tell us about him?
Yeah, maybe not one of the favorite as we start this week here in Regina, but Bert got all kind of experience. He's been 6 times at the Brier. He won the World 94 playing with Rick Folk. It might be his first appearance at the trial, but he got a big win this afternoon. It might be early, like you said, to get excited about a 1-0, but if this 1-0's against Wayne Madaw, you're pretty happy. I'm sure you're going to have a good night tonight.
No doubt about that. And who is he playing? He's playing Kevin Martin, someone that we've all seen. 1991 and 1997 Brier champion. Been there 6 times, a huge money winner over the years. If Kevin has a blip on his screen, it's his play at the international level. Would love to represent Canada and put that aside. This afternoon, in his only game that he did play, he was up 4-0. All of those stolen points. When he had last rock, he takes full advantage of it. Removing the Park stone from play and going on to a very convincing victory. And so tomorrow, we hope you'll join us. We'll see Bert Gretzinger, we'll see Kevin Martin, and see what that game unfolds. And Linda, I know that you say that you sit in bed with your fuzzy slippers on and watch us in the morning. We're going for wine and steak, and we'll be thinking of you.
That's really nice of them.
I will be watching between the toes, that's for sure, with the little fuzzy slippers.
And that game comes your way Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific. Our featured game, Sherry Anderson, Colleen Jones. We're halfway through. And Anderson with a 1-point lead. You won't miss a thing, of course, as we keep you up to date on all the games in this second draw of women's play, to the game between Marie-France LaRouche and Sherry Madaw as they play the 5th. Then it's 4-3 Madaw leading. Final stone for the 21-year-old skip from the Victoria Curling Club in Saint-Foy, Quebec. The defending Quebec champion, the 1999 Canadian Junior champion. Big brush from everybody, drawing against 2. And it will stop just in time. Back of the button to tie it 4-4 through 5. Michelle Ridgway has come back, and they're tied 3-3 going to 6. Kathy King with the hammer. 2-1, Law leading Fowley. Fowley out of Calgary Curling Club has the hammer there. And Amber Holland has just picked up 2. And so now it's a 5-3 Holland lead. And you're up to date as we go to the 6th in our feature game. 4-3 Anderson leading, and Sherry Anderson playing Yellowstones.
I'll do the same thing, or you want to go
from
here?
the Lisle Curling Club in Saskatchewan has the hammer.
Just quickly, Vic, I think that wonderful shot by Marie-France LaRouche, and actually was against 4, I think, and there was 2 in the 8 foot, but there was 2 in the 4 foot. Was a great shot. And who can forget the game she had with this same Sherry Madaw last year in the Scott Terma Hearts, when that was the famous game of the tied rock, I believe.
Tied measure, yeah.
But end after end, the 2 skips put on unbelievable performances with draws and saving events. And there was another example. The young girl has a great stomach for throwing last
Can we
rock.
go around?
And with a little more experience,
yeah,
she is going to be a very good one.
Just let her die. Okay. It's a nice weight. Okay, Donna.
Linda, let's check the numbers after 5.
Well, there's going to be a couple of things that kind of jump off the page. The first is the 2 points stolen. That was in the third end by Sherry Anderson. The second thing is the hit percentage for Colleen Jones' team. Normally that's their big shot, and down at 71%. But the thing that doesn't really get shown on this particular graphic are the mistakes. Single mistakes in the second and fifth end on jams, and a couple of mistakes in the third end by Colleen Jones, and that's why teams have scored the extra points.
Shot, Marianne.
And we said that it might be errors this week that caused the problems for people, and so far in this game it's caused huge problems.
No.
Gotta hit it pretty thin. Gotta hit it right there, Sandra. Give me PLA.
Sandra Mulroney looking for the double.
Wow.
Gignac and Hudson.
They could just nose it.
Curl, baby. All right. That's all right.
She does, and she kills her own stone at the back. So it is Jones line 1. That's the stone center line.
Yeah, I like the nose. It still
Edge of the
controls
8.
it so well.
There was a way for Sherry Anderson to play that just off nose, just about to the nose, and not jam it. Now Colleen will try the nose hit.
Curl.
Marianne Way.
Curl. Good girl.
Very nice
Great
shot.
shot, Marianne.
Right in behind the guard.
Collide 2 without.
Same thing. Yep. Three. Kim. Shot, Sandra.
Get off the center guard.
Too early, I think, Kim. Well, I mentioned before the game, I thought the thirds would be key. I think they will be all week. And so far, Kim Hodson is having a great game, 88%, and Kim Kelly's numbers are a little lower than we often see her at. Her draws, 2 draws are superb, of course. So far, Kim Hodson on Sherry Anderson's team is winning the matchup.
Halfway. No, it's tighter than halfway.
Tighter than halfway?
Yeah.
Okay, go now. Yep. Hurry. Every inch. Every inch. Hard all the way. Hard, 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 hard. Sweep.
All the games have passed the midway point now, and you can update yourself on your favorites here in this second draw of women's play.
Yep.
Hard. Yep. Yep. Clean only.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Shot.
Some point. Same thing, Kim.
Kelly, who's
We're out farther.
been a
We're out
Scott
farther. We
Tournament of
might need to help
Hearts
this.
MVP, an all-star.
Yeah, go. It's pretty tight.
It's
yeah.
interesting,
No,
the
it's not.
success
Yeah,
of the team.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
All
a lot
right.
of the credit has been going to Colleen. It's with Kim's play.
Okay,
Those
Kim.
2 years of 99 and this past year of 01, it's Kim Kelly's play that may have, I don't know, led to
pretty much
the
right on the
turnaround,
nose, Kim.
led to the wins. As she's gone, the team's
Right on the
gone.
nose.
Well, and as I said, it also is partly to do with the strategy. If
Same
they want
weight
to
I
play it a
just
little
threw.
more open, it's up to Kim to make the
Yep.
big hit and roll or set up the shot for her skip.
Same weight.
And Kim has done it really well.
Okay.
Just very consistent. Always gives you a good game.
Nope. Nope. Close, but no. Off. No.
Wants
Get
to catch
over.
part of the back ones, and she did. Got them all, 3 of them. Is that any good?
Kim Hodson.
See, nice shove it to left to center.
Kim with a very strong game. We did a game on WTSN on the Bondsville circuit, and Kim had the flu, and she really struggled. But there's just no question she's come to play tonight. What a great shot.
Shot. Didn't move a whole bunch. You got good. Sure.
So still 4.5? Just still what?
Skip Stones in the 6th. Colleen Jones.
Yes! Wait, you meant to go for line. Yes!
House is wide open, but there's a center guard that can be used.
Whoa, you got room. You got room. Yep. You got room.
Got room, and how's the
finish
weight?
it? Okay.
Oh, baby.
Oh, look at the finish on that.
Great shot.
Very nice shot, too, by Colleen.
Whoa.
Ice is just superb.
Never tuck
See,
nice.
no frost buildup at
Is it
all,
pick?
Linda.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
It's very dry in here.
Nice shot, Colleen.
Oh, thank you.
It's
not as good as
prairies,
yours.
of course, and it's dry naturally out this part of the world, but
Good one.
269.
Hope she doesn't do this.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to throw firm here. Like hers just about didn't curl up. Right on the nose.
We said during the men's draw that the run back is the shot of the 2000s now, was a shot of the 90s. I think the women's team that is able to make these consistently will have a huge edge, especially this week.
I agree.
Sherry Anderson trying to be a woman of the millennium, and there you go.
Oh, Sandra.
Nice run back.
What was it?
Shot, Sherry.
Thanks, Ken.
Good one, Sherry.
Thank you.
Sherry didn't get the straight run back, but the fact that the raised stone stays in the house, it cannot be ignored by Colleen. At least she's not going to ignore it, so it really does its purpose.
The beak. Yep. Clean. Clean only. Yep. No. Nice throw.
Right on the nose is what she gets.
as much here, Kim. Okay. Like she
So Sherry Anderson will look for the blank. Here in 6 to control the hammer.
She made a pistol.
Final stone in the 6th.
Yep, yep. Oh, yep. Clean. Yep. Yep. Nice shot. Clean. Good sweep, guys.
For the blank, good brushing again by Gignac and Mulroney.
Blank.
So the blank means it stays 4-3, and Sherry Anderson will still have the hammer when we come back to Regina.
Good playing, guys.
Sure, get us out of that.
I really felt that this was the first time Eddie went into a Brier believing that he could win.
I probably was the weakest link on that team at that time, and but I used strategy and I knew how to read ice, and we just enjoyed the whole ride. It was terrific.
Now it's starting to move. Oh, is it going to curl enough? No, he's got too much weight. He may go right by it. No, he's got a great shot at double. What a great shot! Oh, I can't believe that. What a great shot by Eddie Werenich.
And what a team from Savage, Kawaja, Harrison. TSN Profiles, Ed Werenich, Sunday, 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. And you know something? He may have become the first star of the television age of curling. I can remember we were doing an Eastern publicity tour, and we were in
Far as you can, guys.
Fredericton or Moncton,
Sorry.
and we were sitting in a donut shop having a cup of coffee.
Sorry, guys.
And a lady across the way saw him and came up, Mr. Werenich. And I thought to myself, that's something. When you get that kind of recognition, and what he did for the sport and has done for the sport and continues to do the sport, yeah, he was the first star of the television age.
Well, I think you're right too, Vic, in the sense that he was more than just a curler. He was a real flamboyant character that added a lot of charisma to our game, and you know, with the toothpick in his mouth, and the other thing about Eddie that the fans loved, that he was very much a fans player, in the sense that after the games he was into the briar patch and shaking hands and having a cool 7-Up with or Coke with the fans.
And, you choked on that too, didn't you? Right? You couldn't even get that out.
Well, halfway through, I decided it was a Labatt's Briar, of course, but no, I agree. Of the television era, and then Russ came onto the scene, and you know, and now the athletes are recognized all across the country.
Yep.
Marianne Way, as we play here in the 7th, 4-3. Sherry Anderson leading with the hammer.
And sitting 2.
Great shot.
When the stone jams and it rolls in behind the Jones stone, now top 12.
Want to do something with that, or you want to take this off? When you do this, you're just leaving her that anyway. Right? Either that or you try to...
Let's go chat. Or take the center. I'm okay.
All right, a little bit of a team conference. Why is this so important? Why do they need this one? Linda, why does it talk about this?
Well, two different philosophies. We'll just listen to them.
Quiet to stick around. And then she hits and rolls around across the center, right? We peel the center. She runs that back, or we run it back.
Then we run have quite a lot of chances for doubles. Yep.
If you leave up the center guard, you leave up some chances for Colleen to make some hits and rolls and that kind of thing, and they're concerned about leaving it up. The other option is to make a play on the redstone in the house, but they're saying at the moment that is not a dangerous rock.
Yep, hard. Hurry! Hard!
Sandra Mulroney.
Oh.
She's been a little bit inside on a few of these peels.
All right.
Good chance to get around this now. And
Marianne Way.
Where? Lots. We're back.
Not something you like to hear with the draw coming down. This one is too strong, they're saying.
And we're back. Back 4, back 8, back 12.
Now what?
Now what?
Playing come around? Yeah.
yeah, that changes the complexion here for sure. You get that rock to the top of the forefoot, around behind the guards. And this gives Sherry Anderson now an excellent opportunity to come around, lie to.
63.
Anderson has the advantage of last rock.
Down to this.
Like we're there.
Clean, yes.
Backhand, slowly if we have to.
Big scrub needed if they're going to get it by their own stone, just off center line.
Watch the shooter there, Kim. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep, yeah.
I think that picked something, Linda, because that went sideways.
Yeah.
Man, it didn't seem to think it was.
She threw tons.
Is that her first set? Looked like enough.
I like the out-turn because you can kind of set up the jammity jam.
We've got this way.
Continuing to
Or
watch the
this way.
2/3 and Kim Hodson. Remember the shot she made last and got her
Just a
team out of
straight draw.
trouble. Just a tremendous performance by Kim Hodson.
Should be good.
That looks like lots. It should be good. Okay, go. Yep.
Kim Kelly.
Hurry. Hurry quick. Hurry quick. Hard all the way. Hard.
Okay,
Get
just
a little bounce
light.
on that one. Oh.
No, nothing. A good brush to get it by that top yellow. But it is Anderson lying one with the hammer, leading 4-3 as we play in the 7th.
Same as Sandra's, just playing come around over there. Just gotta be careful, eh?
Yeah. Well, is this terrible? I mean,
I think
she's
we
got
maybe
that
played
tap.
her there.
I think, yeah. Mind you, to play to here, you're almost racking on that yellow guard up there. Either that or can we possibly run that back? I mean, is that stupid or what?
Gonna call a timeout?
Well, let's just see what the girls think.
Another conference. Both teams are given 73 minutes to play their game. They also
What do you
have
think, guys?
2 one-minute timeouts that they can use.
Well, we could just draw down to that back one or straight come around. But it's got to be buried, either buried, or if it's going to be open, we freeze it to the back one.
I like playing away from this stuff over here.
Well, yeah.
We're leaving her this interim tap here.
Yeah, that's
some
the
point,
shot.
that's the scary
The outturn isn't because it's frozen right now. It's
Throw a guard over here? What if we
no,
overlap?
well, no, because if she taps it, she's not in the forefoot. If we just draw to the other side in the
That's what I
forefoot.
like. I'm okay with that.
While we have a moment, let's update you on the scores. Madaw by 1 over LaRouche. The team from Quebec has the hammer. Our featured game, of course, and Anderson lying 1 with last rock. Shell Ridgeway has come back to steal 1 and 6 and take a lead 4-3 over Kathy King. Single, 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 single. Law leads Fowley by 1, and the team from Calgary, Heather Fowley with the hammer. And Fraser has narrowed it as a 1-point lead now for Amber Holland, who has the hammer playing in 7.
So they decided to go to the intern draw, Linda?
They did, and the conversation was just about placement of the stone after they decided that.
Whoa!
Can't set up a double.
Whoa! No!
Whoa! We're on the top yellow one yet, Sandra.
Line's good for the freeze.
Yep. For line. For line. Keep it on it. Okay. All right, Kev.
And you can see timeout being called by Colleen Jones. So that's her first.
We have a lot of options. Yeah. The first one is option number 1. You've got that with just backline weight. You've got this one with no. You don't need to throw. Yeah, I don't think we need to throw board.
Okay.
You know, back and we've got to get all of the curl of it. Otherwise, you're just going to go over the top. The other thing we've got is a split on this one.
I'm looking at, yeah.
The one you just played with back 8 weight, so that this shoots to there, this goes to there for a later raise back, and this is going to guard this one that spins to about there.
Yeah, I like that. And then you poke this out, and you're going to have.
You're poking that one out for a raise. I wouldn't even need it for the raise because I'd have.
Play it really tight to this guard. You got nothing of this from the hack.
I've got number 1 rock. I don't have the number 1 rock.
You gotta have the straight.
We'll get finished by it.
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
I don't know
Like,
if
it's
that's
definitely
the shot of
makeable.
going for the straight back now.
Do you know, I think the other thing, this gives me more
think
options
so, too.
because then I've got a bump on the one you put there. I think she's gonna run the one that you put there.
So throw back.
Back 8. It's just a jiggle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that too. Back 8 jiggle.
Okay, the back 8 jiggle.
Okay.
That's what we'll do.
Okay, it's the back 8 jiggle.
Didn't you used to do that dance?
I do think
I
it
did
sets
every
up more
dance
options,
humanly possible, Vic, in my day.
It closes it down if.
Yeah, their option they talked about was raising
You know,
the
you guys?
other red stone.
We could back 8 jiggle it this way too.
That one.
I like it the other way because your shooter stays there.
When I dance now, everything jiggles.
No!
Kim Kelly.
No! Wait's great! No! Wait's great!
Back 12.
Yeah!
Delahunt ways. Oh, they get it by no.
Kidding.
It took off on them, and
Sorry,
then they
Kim.
lost it.
It was perfect weight, too.
Gets to play the same shot. Except I'll try to give you a 9 instead of an 8. Oh, is it not as
It was a
simple
very
as that?
tough shot. They did say that the one they were trying to raise up was totally buried. With a pretty bad
You guys
break
didn't
just to
touch
touch
that
that yellow
either,
stone out front.
Kim Hodson playing the exact same shot she just played with just a little less weight.
Do you want to freeze down to it, or do you want to leave it high as your second shot?
They want to set up a hit and roll
I
or
think
double.
So. Whoa, whoa.
So they don't mind it a little bit back.
No, no line yet.
Whoa, only if you have
I don't
to.
want it
Whoa.
to though.
Whoa.
It's tapping. Okay, tap it then. Big, bump it big, bump it big, hard. All right.
Threw the same, didn't I? Felt the same.
Yeah, 2 in a row from Kim Hodson that were a little heavy.
Sherry Anderson showing us some big shots in this game. And again, surprising Colleen Jones, the hit percentage so low. That is usually her strong part of her game.
Numbers for the draws are great to this point, so here's a chance to come down and sit right on the face of it.
Line's fine, sorry.
Skip Stones.
Line's great. Wait
Colleen
on.
Jones.
Line's fine. Whoa, whoa. Wait only. It's got a lot of going to go.
Lots of room.
Did I move that?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, hard.
Your line's fine.
Hurry, line's over curling.
Line's okay. Okay.
Some separation now, though.
By lots. Oh yeah, that's not an issue. But do we want? I think I just want to do this though.
Yeah.
There, hey.
Yeah, I like that.
If I sit there.
If you sit there, what does she have?
Not a whole bunch. No. I think we'll play the same kind of weight and just tap it out of there. Now we got to watch because your first one was really
Just
tight
to
to
the
that
yellow.
top guard.
Yeah.
So this is. I might almost have to play with this with more weight than I wanted because. Heavy draw, that's what I gave you. And that's kind of was the right line. And yours were heavy draws, both of them, eh? Okay. Just tighten it up, just a hair.
Well, Sherry's right. The problem rock is not the rock that is shot stone. It's their own guard, the yellow stone that they have to just squeak by in order to make this
But I
tap.
don't want to tap it big and roll, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to try to throw the same kind of weight Kim had. So, well, basically 13.5, 14, eh? Sorry, guys. Kim, can you bring that broom up? I can't.
Okay.
Too many rocks that are blocking the view of the broom.
All right.
Yeah, you often see that, and I often wonder why people holding the broom do that. I find it impossible. I often ask my skip to move up forward, you know, especially of late.
There is a rule, actually. They have to be on the other side of the far hog line. The ring. You can't get any closer.
Whoa, whoa,
lots.
Whoa,
whoa,
whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa,
no,
I kicked this one too. No.
No, not at all.
Need a piece.
That was strictly weight.
I just touched it. I don't think I moved it. I just touched it with my foot, but I don't think I moved.
No, which way to come? In, turn, draw. Okay. Hug the hole. Okay. Right on center line, eh?
Just going to plug the hole. This is just too much weight. She talked about just touching it back, tapping it back, but you see how much weight the stone has. It was, you know, fully through the rings at, you know, hack weight almost. Just threw it too strong.
And they're looking at what might be left after Colleen finishes. That's a big mistake by Sherry Anderson.
5.
Colleen Jones.
Where?
Trailing by 1.
Clean it. Tights not gonna hurt us. Do you want to tuck a piece? Hurry!
Oh, it caught
dear.
something.
What a shame.
Yeah,
that just stopped dead.
Yeah, that is a heartbreaker. That is.
Yeah. Same thing with less weight, eh? Because I mean, I almost hit that, and I had what?
Look at this. Right there, just a dead halt.
Yeah, just went over something and.
Give me there. I can, because I can hit it fuller as long as I get by that. Again.
Look at that. Well, you see the scratch.
Yeah. I thought when you told me to move out there, we had edge of 4.
Piece of
So
something.
edge of 4 here would not be on the red line, which is where I was out there. But that's
what I was looking at, it was right there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. What I saw of your handle.
Okay. So you want a little less than I had last time?
I think I want right in
here.
here.
I'll give you a little less up here than what I had last time.
Right in there, right.
This is what we had, so I'll give you there. Less?
Even a hair less, Kim.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Wow, that picked something hard, eh? Okay, I gotta take, what did I throw there for a split? Okay, so 13 and a half.
So quiet tap for 2. Sherry Anderson trying to take advantage of that
Clean. Whoa, just clean.
stone of Colleen Jones that caught something, her last one.
Off.
No line yet.
Whoa. Whoa.
She leads by 1.
Yep, gotta bump it, gotta move it.
Hurry.
Yeah, you're okay, clean. Yep.
Bump it back. Very nice to count 2.
Okay, I gotta go to the bathroom, okay?
Okay. You can go. We'll let you.
I was very fortunate to get a second chance.
Sometimes you just hear things you don't need to hear. Very nice, Sherry Anderson. She finds the hole. Quiet tap back. And yellow counts 2. And a 6-3 lead.
Yeah.
Continuing with our updates in this second draw of women's play. Ridgway and King 4-3. Michelle Ridgway leading Kathy King as they play in the 7th final stone. For Kathy King, the former Kathy Borst, out of the Otwell Curling Club in Edmonton, the 98 Canadian champion, against Ridgway, who has been a Saskatchewan champion 5 different times. And if she can move it far enough, she might get 2. But no, she'll settle for 1, edge of the 4. And a 4-4 tie as they go to 8, Ridgway with the hammer. Now on to the game between Heather Fowley, throwing here out of the Calgary Curling Club, the native of Halifax, against Kelly Law of the Royal City Curling Club, New Westminster, the 2000 Canadian and world champion. And Fowley and her front end, Bronwyn Saunders and Denise Martin. And she'll make the draw for 2. And Fowley, for the first time, has the lead, 4-3. Marie-France LaRouche with 1 in 7 to tie Madaw 5-5. That's our featured game, of course. That's updated. We showed you that too. And of course, you'll never miss a thing. Always up to date with Canada's most comprehensive curling coverage. Holland leading Fraser by 1.
Okay, right
here at the Agrodome this opening day of the Canadian Curling Trials.
I got it.
As we go to the 8th now.
Okay, Donna.
Colleen Jones down by 3 has the hammer.
That was a tick attempt by Sherry Anderson. They couldn't, of course, remove the corner guard completely from play, and they don't want any other rocks around, so they were trying the tick with good weight. Didn't quite make it, and so Nancy Delahunt will now put up another front stone, I would suspect. Now, just to go back to that last one, that was a very bad break for Colleen. We've said a couple of times there's been mistakes in this game. That wasn't a mistake. That was a horrible break for Colleen.
That's the rub of the green, and that is just horrible. I hate to see that. That rock just stopped dead. It actually changed turn, and you can see the big scratch behind it because she puts the guard on. She's going to steal a point, and what a difference it makes to the game. She allows Sherry Anderson a tap back for 2 after, you know, and she's fought back in this game, and I hate seeing that. I mean, we've been a little critical of maybe a couple way she played a couple ends, especially in the early part of the game. But you know, there's no call for that. That was really a tough break for the Blue Noser.
Okay, Sandra.
But little opportunity now with a couple corner guards out, Victor.
Trailing by 3.
Yeah, for sure.
Weight's pretty good. Okay, well, on its own, on its own.
Oh, no, we're good.
Yeah, go. Hard. Hurry, way back. Way back. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
That's a dandy.
That's a nice come around his right.
Tucks it behind the corner.
I mentioned that Sandra Mulrooney had been a little inside on a couple of peels, and then this end she went by the other attempt.
Hurry, right up.
Just not hitting those the way they want.
Enough.
It's a little light for peel weight too, I think, Linda. I mean, peel weight means that you want to lose the shooter, and with that kind of weight, you're not going to, on a consistent basis, lose the shooters.
Made a terrific draw with her first one. Now she'll go to the other side.
Got room.
Marianne Way.
Yep, hard. Hurry. Quick. You're by.
Kelly and
Just
Della
wait.
Hunt.
Don't lift your broom because there's a
Yep,
woozy under there.
Yep. Hurry, hurry, hurry,
Boy,
hurry.
they pick up something else. What a terrific brush this is from these two, Della Hunt
Good job,
and
Marianne.
Kim Kelly, and a nice draw again by Marianne Way.
Two wonderful come-arounds. Absolutely perfect.
Just regular.
Yeah.
Quickly want to go to the game between Amber Holland and Sherry Fraser as they play in 7. Final stone for Holland. This team also out of the Cali Club in Regina. The 27-year-old former Canadian junior champ of 92 finds the hole.
Whoa, no,
1, 2, move it far enough.
Clean. Yeah.
And it looks like it'll be a steal of 1 for Fraser. It is, and a 5-5 tie.
And that was a nice hit and roll by the Anderson team.
I think we may as well play the double.
Yeah, I don't mind that either.
Actually, you won't roll that far. Just here to here.
And then if she knows it's us, we can go around then, right?
Clean.
Long way to go here.
Hurry! Hurry, hurry, quick! Quick, 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 quick!
Great shot, Kim.
Move them both
Good shot,
out.
Kim.
Move them back far enough, and Jones is
There,
line
once he's
2
flying
with
around,
the hammer, and down by 3.
There is a double there for
You can see half that out here.
Yeah.
Sherry if she wanted to play the thin double, but
Okay.
you play the
How
hit and roll.
skinny is the double? Really skinny?
Pretty thin.
Pretty thin.
Yep.
What about this way? Too skinny? Okay.
The skinny double is what she's talking about, is hitting it thin here and coming across this
What
way.
did I just give you?
You saw Sherry
Up
saying,
a
well, we
little?
could hit it this way and drive it that way. Try and get the roll behind here.
But the reason Sherry had a look at the one near the tee line, if it's partly open, they're not going to go for the double now. They'll try and save the shooter on this one, and they know they can get at it if they have to later.
Kim Hodson.
Whoa, might be up. Whoa. Close, close, yeah.
Mulroney, Gignac, how close are they?
Okay. That's all right, Kim.
Couldn't hold it. Hit it too full, sits right there.
Oh, they're not going to do that.
X are fine. We can just draw here. Love it. Mind you, the hit and roll does the same thing here. Because this looks like quite an easy bump.
Yeah, I know.
And a pick and roll.
Sneaking a peek at the game between Michelle Ridgway and Kathy King. 4-4 as they play the 8th. This will be the final stone for King. Ridgway has the hammer, and Kathy King, the former Canadian champion. Kathy Borst
Hurry!
facing 3 with her last one as Kim Kelly throws for Colleen Jones.
Well, I have been sneaking a little peek at this game with Michelle Ridgway and Kathy King, and this end I thought maybe Kathy could have gotten out of the end earlier and elected to play a draw instead of a hit, and now she's in big trouble.
Mine's good.
Front end of Kate Horn and Brenda Bomer trying to drag it as far as they can. Sneak it by 1, they do. Take it top 8. And they'll get a bite, top 4. But this is a chance, a big chance for Ridgway to maybe blow this one wide open here in 8.
I think just easy normal, hey? You like that?
No question about that. If the stone is wide open.
All the skips at this week's competition on all the sheets are wearing microphones, so you'll be inside the game on every sheet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Hurry.
Sherry Anderson in the top right, throwing a hit at the stone and center line area.
Right down. Right down. Right down.
Michelle Ridgway, who found herself down 2-0 early, came back to tie and then eventually took the lead for the first time in 6. And now has a chance for a 4 spot here.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Lori Keeler.
Freeze it up. 4.5.
Sit there. Maybe tapped her own a little too far. So it's a 3 for Ridgway and a 7-4 lead through 8. Ridgway dropped her opener this morning. King was a winner.
Good chance for Colleen Jones here, Vic, to get around the corner guard to the face of the red one again and put herself in a pretty good position to pick up a deuce and maybe even 3, Linda.
Maybe a little reminiscent of the Scott Tournament of Hearts final, where in the 8th end Colleen was down 3 and got the big score by making some nice draws.
Leave it for a bit if you can.
Yep. Let's go back here. Yep. 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 Is it by this one? Okay. Hard then hard. 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 Okay.
Guess we should have woed.
Sherry looking at the wide intern
Is that
now.
going right onto that?
No, goes behind. It's got to.
Oh,
maybe not.
Pretty close.
If you play this one here, this is what the conversation is. We'll just try and draw it, set it for you.
Well,
When you play that one there,
One and give up 2.
where is this stone here? This one here. Where is it
You can
going?
probably
Is
take
it
half
going
of either.
onto that one?
Do you think we can almost get to the nose of this and sit right here?
How much can I see of this, guys? There?
How much can I see of this stone right here?
Long guard, though.
No, I think I can throw regular.
Yeah, I like regular. I like regular. Yeah.
And if it's
but I'm
not
not
going
gonna
there, we can
for
roll
sure.
here.
Yeah. Not gonna get silly about it.
No, send it through peel and just put it back.
You can see about half from both turns, I think, Linda.
It still moves here.
Yeah, I believe it does.
One of those times again, Linda, where you have to look at the scoreboard, see you're up by 3. If you want to give them 2, but don't give them 3.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, and the other thing with this shot too, Lou, is that she could hit this and get a roll across the rings. This way here, and roll across over here.
Half of it. I'm going to still give her. Might as well play for the hit and roll, maybe. Eliminate one anyway, guys.
22.
No. Whoa, it's really
Roll
firm.
it.
Okay.
And
Shot.
too heavy, and they can't hold the shooter, and so now Jones will have a draw for a pair.
Okay.
As we check in on the game between Marie-France LaRouche and Sherry Madaw in a 5-5 tie. And Madaw has the hammer as they play in 8. And this is a draw for 4.
Talk about blowing things wide open. This end is another good one.
Take a look.
In this case, for Sherry Madaw.
Well, just taking the odd look at that game, Linda, Marie-France LaRouche was making some tremendous shots to save ends all along in that game. You can't continue to make them, and it's a big 4 points.
And a 9-5 lead in a game where both teams are looking to win their first after losing their openers this morning.
Wow, and it's the good stuff. Sorry, Janet, I just remember that spot.
So Colleen Jones just needs 8 foot.
Nice shot, Colleen. Keep cleaning it. Very nice.
Nice way.
2 red, yep.
2 red it is, and Jones climbs back into it here in 8. Sherry Anderson leads by 1, and she'll have the hammer in the 9th here at the Agrodome. The men will be on the ice twice Sunday. Their second draw comes your way at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 Pacific here on TSN. Both teams winning their openers today, Kevin Martin and Bert Gretzinger. Let's continue our updates now, and in a 4-3 lead, Heather Fowley with a bit of a look of disgust after she missed her last one. And this is a hit for 3 for Kelly Law, and the former Canadian and world champion. Yep, 3, says Julie Skinner. 6-4. Law leads to Fraser and Holland as they play the 8th. In a 5-5 tie, final stone for Amber Holland. Out of the Cali Club from right here in Regina, her team of Kay Montgomery, Karen Purdy, Patty Bell. They qualified winning a Calgary qualifying Bonspiel last year, and this is a draw for 1-2 and a 7-5 lead going to 9. Playing for the right to win a medal, to be the Canadian representative at the Winter Games in Salt Lake City. That's what this is all about. For 9 days, these Canadian curling trials.
Let it bend.
Second women's draw as we go to the 9th. Sherry Anderson leading by 1, and she has the hammer.
What do you want? Top 4 is all.
But what an interesting start is the first 3 rocks of this end are out in front.
Shot, Donna. Very nice.
Want to go right here? What have you got of the front one? Can you get to the nose of that? Of the front yellow one? Not really.
What does that look like from here?
Tight.
I've got about a little better.
Not enough? Okay.
But you know, just if you don't mind thinking about it, even if we play that one, then don't we open up that back one and still leave a red one here? Do you want to call a timeout, Colleen?
Okay, timeout. Yeah,
just thinking about.
So that's the second.
They
have no more.
Come on, Marianne and Kim.
Just don't want to close
What Nancy was saying is, even if we play this one here,
you could try to get to the nose
this here,
of that one. Freeze.
play this one.
Well, no,
And it comes over here and pushes this one over a little bit.
Even if you
They will expose this
No,
one.
it doesn't look good, Mary. I mean, to get them out of the house,
And
you'd
if you
have
make
to
the good
throw
shot, you might
board
push it
weights,
back
right?
into this area here.
Which one are you talking about?
The front yellow one, I'm looking, yeah, looking at running it back on that one, but.
This is what they're talking about now.
Just playing it. Just get rid of it.
Board weight?
And then stay there to use
Yeah,
the
right.
use the red.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. Board weight on not on which one? On the
The front one.
On shot rock.
Yeah, no, on the front, on the guard.
The guard.
Although then that opens up, they're going to come around this way again, although this one will be open. I don't like that yellow one.
Either do I. I don't like either of the
I
yellows.
know.
They talked originally about coming this way here.
Back on the red to shot rock.
They've gone back now.
You know, not really. No. I thought what might become it's just one of these again, Marianne. It would be sort of with just backline weight here, catching a bit of that and rolling in. And then that's going to be there for a double.
That's the original one they talked about.
Yeah? Okay, and we're still talking. Okay. Just here, and then your shooter's going to stay about there, and then that's over in the open. Yeah.
Pushes it in the house, though.
Yeah, that's okay. Is it? Just sets it up.
So you only have to throw T-line, eh? Just T-line.
It really depends on what outcome you want. Are you trying to steal?
Exactly.
Or are you
Good
trying
point.
to just give up one?
So what does this tell you? What are they doing?
This is to try and limit. This is not going for a score. They're afraid of the Yellowstone's positions, and so they're trying to move some things around.
Yep. Hard, 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 hard. Hurry hard. Right up. Hurry
Marianne Way in the ninth. Anderson leading 6-5.
Whoa.
Heel, or if we get inside and we'll flop and touch our
Either
pin.
this or this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll go across it, Sandra, just regular.
Across the face. Maybe even push the other yellow one in, the one that's just outside the rings. You come across the face, you can just spin off the yellow one and push it into the rings as well.
Sandra Mulroney.
What?
Right in between, I think.
What?
Almost.
Good try.
Too many options. We have to get it.
Sports Center at 2 a.m. Eastern Time, 11 Pacific. Vanier Cup, NHL, preview of the Sunday NFL, all coming your way on Sports Center.
Yep. Yeah, hard. Hurry it. Hurry hard. Hurry.
Playing the come around.
Right up. Hard all the way. Hard. Hard. Hard, hard, hard. Whoa. Great shot, Marianne. Good
Great
sweep,
shot.
you guys.
Stayed on that.
Marianne Way sucks one
Plain old
around
peel,
and puts it
top red
top of
one.
the button.
Just making sure she knows how to hit it. Yeah.
Just lining up the angles, Sherry is.
Let's take them both.
Nice come around by Marianne.
Wanted to try and make contact with the yellow as well. Just got the one.
Kelly.
Halfway. Halfway.
And suddenly Colleen Jones, who
don't overcurl it.
you suggested was just trying to limit, now finds herself in a great position, Linda, to maybe steal.
Good. Whoa.
Well, it was interesting how it turned out because they didn't make the shot they were trying and then got a chance to play just the straight come around and made it beautifully.
Once again, you can see Sherry Anderson trying to look at the angles and try and drive the back and get the yellow ones out of position. Rearrange that front. You see so much of that.
Kim Hodson.
Hurry! Hard.
Gignac and Mulroney run it back. Oh, and buy everything. Then the shooter will roll to the corner.
Kind of opened up her back one a little better, eh? Do we need to think about this being... The yellow one is more open now? Do we need to be more here? Do you think?
Well, if Colleen thought about it, she didn't think very long because she put the brush right back in the same spot.
That top red one is no danger, or yellow one is no danger at all, is it? It's gonna...
Yep.
Halfway.
I think it's gonna
Trying to cross center a bit.
Whoa.
Well, does the job.
That's all right. I think that helps. It's a great shot.
But it wound up where Nancy Delahunt had suggested they try and put it.
Now what? Now what?
Well, I think I can see what I need to hit that yellow one to get the back one. And if I overcurl, is that real terrible? Well, yeah, it leaves you without a shot, I guess.
If you overcurl, how do you mean? And take the guard on?
No, like I can hit that. I can see what I need to hit that yellow to pick the red, like the center line yellow. In turn, come across face. But does that look too scary? Because if we don't make it, you're not going to have a shot, right? Except a couple outside angles.
What she's saying is that she can get across the face of this one a bit.
This guard is guarding my one shot I did have.
Yeah, I know.
Enough
I know.
to try and pick this one.
We can double this, double the guards again, but still you're running that into ours, which isn't so bad. Thing is, if you don't make this, if you run it back, say you nose it,
Oh, I know.
clip ours.
I know.
You sit there, then that's not so
Yeah,
good.
no, I know.
Because then you're stuck with another one in there.
So what do you like? You like peeling the red again?
I like peeling the red. Peel the red.
How are you? Are you going to try to click that yellow now or not? Now it's well,
I was going to go
onto
across the top.
Yeah, across the top.
Because if you run it back and you clip the top one, you're still covering the rock you want to use.
Right. So you're going to peel this one, but if we hit that
Across.
yellow, that way, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're calling?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I'm with you.
Across the top is what they're talking about. Some kind of action.
They actually came very close on the last attempt to doing that little tick.
Jones in position right now to steal and possibly tie. Kim Hodson. Angle it back, and run it by.
All right,
but it
Kim,
does open up the middle.
Okay. So I just want to guard. I'm guarding the pick out, right? I don't care. Right here. Right?
Our first final comes from the center sheet and Michelle Ridgway out of the Cali right here in Regina. Steals 4. in 9 and beats Kathy King 11-4. So both those teams are now 1-1
I don't know that we can
after
protect
this
both.
first day of the Canadian curling trials.
What do you guys like?
Gotta make it perfect. That's the only thing.
I think she still has this.
Not if you go here. But that's, you know.
Okay.
You like it?
Yeah.
So they made their decision, and they're going to play rock right there, which will protect this one right here if you get it on the right angle.
I know, but we could play the hit. Play the hit and be sitting 2, and then she takes 1. Well, just ask Marianne. I'll ask Marianne too. I like them both. They'll both work. We've got the hit and roll to force her to 1 this end to score 2 and 10. Is our, I'm not crazy with the guard because you can't guard both.
And then I'll still have to rattle.
Gee, I think it's the
with
guards.
the corner freeze.
The corner freeze is a good shot, I think. I liked her first decision. I think it's a good. What do you think, Lou?
Well, it comes back to my point earlier that normally you start out with the outcome in mind. Do you want to steal, or do you want to just give up the 1 and get the hammer coming home and try for your 2 or 3? And they're still not clear in which approach they. I like the guard freeze idea.
And this rock's in a nice position, boy. Drawing against it is very tough. I think it's my feeling is it's a real opportunity to steal a point. I like it. I like it. Right
I don't
there.
even think you have to be a perfect corner freeze. I think you can be top 12, yeah. Four and a half. Hairless. I think you moved it right back, Nance.
Colleen Jones on the first of the skip stones in this 9th.
You got room. Close.
Just sweep for top 12.
Yep.
Just top 12, girls.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Just top 12.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
It's definitely got the weight.
Well,
They don't want to bounce off.
It's not lining up.
Nice shot.
That's a lovely shot. Lovely shot.
I knew we were close.
Well,
thanks.
I think double that.
Yeah, it's a very nice shot, Colleen.
Thank you.
Try to keep your shooter around.
Try to keep your shooter around.
Like I can almost nose that, and I should double it.
Yeah.
Like just. I want to make sure I get rid of that.
Yeah. Okay, what are we throwing?
I'm just going to throw regular hits here. Take this turn. I think I'm okay
Can you
there.
not get to that red stone that's the shot stone?
Well, you can come down quietly and maybe try and touch it back, but you couldn't throw it with any kind of weight, because if you ever clip the red one, all of a sudden they're lying 3 on you, which would drive out your yellow stone.
Double those out of there, guys. I'd like to stick around if I can.
At your club, you might try that.
Hit it fairly full. That's almost.
The Pete Buchanan team isn't playing this year, I understand.
No,
eh?
we're not. No,
Just
we're
regular
not.
weight.
Too much traveling with the Olympics and everything, I guess.
Nose hit, basically, or almost nose. Maybe not, eh? Just a hair less, Kim.
Guess I'm thinking here, Lindy, that if you do come down and even if you left it high, you could still maybe bump it up some way to get it shot stone. And
You might not see it, though, after Colleen finished. She wants to try and have a shot with her last.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Hurry!
Hard! Hard! Hard!
Sherry Anderson.
Whoa! Whoa! Donna, roll it!
Donna, roll the yellow.
Oh, big mistake.
And now 1 could possibly be 2 for Jones, looking to steal here in 9.
That's why the angle freeze was such a good shot. You know, they got to the right shot at as far as we're all concerned.
Absolutely.
But so many things can go wrong.
That was nice.
And all of a sudden now, Colleen's in a position, to, as Victor just mentioned, to steal 2 points. You make a good guard here, boy, and you could be stealing 2.
Just a guard, eh? I'm sorry. Center line. Right in the center. You're going to leave her the angle on the yellow onto the red, but it's just for 1. Five. Less ice, Nance.
I yelled right away, so I guess not. Yeah.
Less, Nance.
A little bit inside, Sherry and Kim are talking about on that last shot.
Well, it's just that there were some there and the draws too. It wasn't curling as much.
Good. Now they keep these clean. She got a very bad break on a guard she was playing earlier. And
Where?
Start dragging it.
Halfway, yeah, then.
Get it to curl hard.
Hard!
she's got to come across a long way.
Just bite center, bite center, bite center, bite center.
Kelly in way.
Right up, right up, right up, girls, hard. Right up, right up, right up. Hard, 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 hard. That is a beauty. Great shot.
Good shot. Got the double on the Reds.
It's a pretty good. It's a little tight.
I'm not sure it's there. It might be, but make sure to eliminate
that's right.
one.
That's right. This will be firmer.
Okay.
This stone had to just curl a little bit more. They wanted to get right to the center line. You take this stone here and place it over there. It's altogether a different shot. You can see what they're looking at here.
I think it's almost there, but we've got to make sure we get one, guys.
Trying to
you get 2. That's the bonus. But cut them down
What
here.
was that last weight? What was that last weight? This will be a little bit firmer.
You get this started, though, with that stone even on that center line. It has crash written all over it. Here we go. Sherry Anderson facing a couple here with her last one.
Whoa!
Whoa! Yes! Whoa! 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 No.
Get it by the top one. They do. Get one of them. They do.
Yep.
And so it'll be a steal of 1 for Jones here in 9 to tie
Well,
it.
you know what? Even if it curls more.
Sherry Anderson has seen the lead slip away, but she will have the hammer coming home. Nearing the end of the second draw of women's play, and we'll check in on the game between Marie-France LaRouche and Sherry Maddaw. 9-6, Maddaw leading. And this the first of the skip stones for Maddaw, and a chance to run LaRouche out of stones, and she'll get one, and that's what she does. And so Maddaw evens her record at 1-1 with a 9-6 win. LaRouche falls to 0-2 after the first day of play. Fowley and Law in a 6-4 game. Law leading. Final stone for Heather Fowley out of the Calgary Curling Club. Brusher's back off. She looks for the really thin double, and she'll give up a steal of 2, and it's an 8-4 final as Kelly Law winds up this first day with 2 straight wins. Fowley goes to 1-1. And as we go to the game between Amber Holland and Sherry Fraser, with Holland leading 7-5. We'll update that as that develops. We're playing skip stones as we go to the 10th of our featured game in a 6-6 tie.
Wait only.
Sherry Anderson has the hammer.
Gotta come a bit.
Colleen Jones showed us that she knows how to steal. She has to do it again.
Right to the forefront, girls.
Hurry hard, line's great, hard. Right up, right up.
And they drag it to the 4 foot. They get it to the 8. And they might just be biting the 4.
A question for you, Linda. With the 4-rock rule, would you be tempted to play another one out in front?
I would.
Thank you. What about you, Victor?
Well, if you can't touch them, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. I
I
mean,
think
you,
it's okay
you
with
don't
this
need
tick
to
when we have
set
one
up
on the
that
other side. Like, if
rock
we
in the
corner
rings
freeze
right
to
now.
this
You can
side,
set
is
it up
that
later.
really so terrible? Or you like the tick all the way? Little more than hack.
Well.
What?
No. Roll that, Sandra.
As long as that doesn't go through. We need to touch it, though.
Okay. Nice try, Donna. All right.
There was an attempt on the tick, but they hit it too solidly and pushed it all the way through, so they'll bring it back.
Yeah, I think it was over. I think it was over a little bit more. No, no.
Oops.
I think it was
good?
Is that right?
I think it was a little more this way.
So do I. I think it was over a little bit more.
Over
because
which way?
I think it was over this,
this
way
way
a little bit
more?
more because we
I
could
thought
see
it was
what
a
them
half
did.
an inch more, Sherry.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
And they are right. It's the
do you guys
non-offending
like?
team, isn't it, Linda, that gets to put the stone
Guard
back?
somewhere.
Yeah, they both try and discuss it, but yeah, non-offending team
Can we
gets the
come
last
right in
position.
on top of ours and sit two?
I don't know what that does it.
Well, then they don't have the raise back to sit one.
Can we put another guard just up higher?
On this side?
Well,
Guarding this tap or guarding this?
yeah, I think.
Yeah,
what do you
guarding
think,
here?
Marianne? I think guarding that one. Because if they make this, they're buried. If they make this,
I
they're
like this.
Yeah, I do too.
You can bet that Sherry Anderson's going to be running off something in the front. That is for sure. So you just don't want to give her the double peel or anything. That's all.
Marianne Way. This game has come down to the 10th and a 6-6 tie.
Tight. Shouldn't be in though.
Close for line.
Gonna clean it.
Might be able to go right to the yellow.
Yeah, go then. Hard. Hard for line on the red.
No, it's not there. I don't think.
Great.
Yes, it is. Losing its handle though.
Okay, this is gonna work.
A little
Okay,
bounce.
Perfect. I do. Covered both.
HBO Championship Boxing will follow immediately. This second draw of women's play here at the Canadian
I think
Curling
let's do
Trials
this.
as Jones and Anderson trade jabs and counterpunch here in the 10th.
Yep.
In the second half of this game, these peel attempts have really not worked well for the Anderson team.
Yep.
Trying another one across the face of their own.
Hurry!
And that's something we've seen from Mulrooney a couple of times. They have to jump that right away out of her hand.
Donna, roll
As
it.
she was inside, they tried it the other way.
Let me ask you something, Ray. Is that something mechanical that she may be doing on those? Because that's something that Linda's pointed out is a consistent problem with her inside on her
I think it's easier to
takeouts.
guard it on
Yeah,
this side.
she's obviously putting the rock inside or starting it a little bit. Vic, I kind of watch. You have to watch the releases to.
Marianne Way. As we sneak a peek live at the
I
game
need
on
some help to
Sheedy.
get it to center.
Amber Holland leading
Gotta
by
cross
2
center a bit
over
with it.
Sherry Fraser. Sherry Fraser with the hammer. Her final stone is coming up. She
Whoa,
has
clean.
one
It's there. It's there. It's there.
on the lid. That's that red stone.
Pretty long. Whoa, whoa,
And
you're
now
fine.
she'll
we gotta get
try a cold
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
draw here for 2.
You don't think, Linda, in this
No, they're
case, she
both
could hit the
even.
outside of the red
Okay.
one that's frozen to the back yellow one and maybe get 3?
I think it'll
Or
curl.
am I
just gotta
seeing
get
too
my
much in
type.
that?
I'm not sure she can see enough of it.
Can't see enough of it?
Almost looks like a triple peel. You can angle it in.
We
There's
need
lots
full
of options
forefoot.
here.
Just
Oh, no,
look
you're
for
right.
T-line,
She
that's
can't.
what you
There's
want.
another guard. I'm sorry. You're absolutely correct. You look though, if you could just touch the outside,
If you could get to
spin
it.
off it and get 3.
Sherry Fraser out of the Richmond Curling
T-line,
Club,
guys.
Richmond, BC.
Oh, yeah, I
Maybe
did.
familiar to you. She played it one time with Kelly Law, appeared in a couple of Scots with Law, including the '97 trials. Front end of Corey Beveridge, Christine Jurgensen, and it crashes in front. She'll get 1, and that's not enough. She needed 2, and the crowd here in Regina applauding the win by one of their own. Amber Holland of the Cali Curling Club will win it 7-6. And so Holland is now 1-1. Fraser, 1-1.
Speaking of boxing, Fraser.
And down goes
That's a long
Fraser.
way to curl.
Down goes Fraser.
Coming though. Hurry! Hurry!
They want this to cross center line and protect the shot rock. They want it to get over. Oh my goodness.
Just gotta do something here.
In the Sherry Fraser game, that was kind of a heartbreaker for Sherry because they didn't brush that all the way down and left it broke at the end, and saw it rub on the front guard. She had perfect weight, Linda.
Sherry, you're either going to have the pick or you're going to have the tick on the yellow or the full draw to the forefoot. I like the peel.
I like the peel too, because it just gives her a chance to get it in there better. Right?
Sherry.
Looking for the double peel.
No. This way? Yeah. No, I'm okay the other way. Yep. No, just a straight peel.
What's that? Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm okay with this.
Peel on this stone right here.
You can almost do this, Kim. You hit it right there.
Kim Hudson.
No. Just straight peel. No. Straight peel.
And that's what she's got, straight
Shot.
peel.
Oh, sorry.
Right in the middle of them, Kim. Tight. Where's our weight? It's tight. Gotta get to center. Yep. Half and half of it.
It's not that tight.
Okay, whoa. Whoa.
The weight's good, just looking for the proper position as far as line.
And our featured game is the only game left on the ice here at the Agrodome on a Saturday night, the second draw of women's play.
Yes, hard. Hurry. Hard. Whoa. Yep.
Run it back.
All right.
Boy, that's it. Finally worked for her.
That wasn't what they were playing.
And maybe that's why she gives the front end the wink. She may have gotten away with one.
Well, they weren't playing that for sure. She got the back one, but the situation still sits pretty nicely for Colleen Jones. She's got a long guard, a short guard, the rock on the 12-foot. She makes the good come around, and she's got 2 attempts at it, Linda.
And that's why Sherry and Kim were actually just trying to peel. They were saying if we continue through, Colleen will keep protecting a rock that was just in the 8-foot. Now Colleen can try and get it into the 4-foot.
Yeah, she can make it better now. She can get it right around perfectly.
Line's great.
skip stones.
Line's great.
Colleen Jones in a 6-6
Hard
tie.
line.
Sherry Anderson
Hard line.
has the hammer.
Hurry!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hard!
No. Okay. Just leave it up.
She underthrew that one for sure, I
It's
think.
okay, Colleen.
A little light.
I throw about a 5?
I was thinking the double peel was easier if they were tighter.
No.
Nothing wrong with that.
The only thing is, well, I don't know. Let's call timeout. We have one more, don't we?
Yeah.
Timeout, please.
We'll take a timeout.
You do.
Still like the peel.
Whatever it is. Well, I still like the peel too, but if I don't make the double peel, even if I make the double peel,
what?
She's coming around us, right?
Right, but she's
Which
got
is okay.
two ways to come
Which
around.
Which is okay, yeah.
Because then we, yeah.
Well, yeah, I can run it, and if she goes deep, I can draw. Yeah. I guess the double peel is a shot, eh?
This is the difficult stuff at work.
Coach Ron Myers out to join Sherry Anderson and her team.
The only thing is, I was thinking if I don't get the double peel, but that's okay. I can get the double peel with right there, eh? Okay. Yep.
You know that, Linda, that Colleen's going to draw. Why don't you go? Why don't you, Sherry Anderson, go first to make the draw?
I don't think this turn will
Well, the
curl as
reason you
much.
might not is if you don't do it perfectly, get it exactly at the top of the button and really make it impossible for Colleen to go one better, and you hand her the chance to go for the steal. This way, you're trying to open it up so you have the simplest shot no matter what Colleen does. This is not an easy double peel, though, for Sherry. The rocks are quite close together.
Yep. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Mulroney and Gignac backing right off.
No.
And she won't make the double. She'll get the high one.
Well, you got 2 attempts at it, Linda. Get it around to the top of the 4-foot.
It's going to finish hard, and that's from the far end.
So Anderson is lying 1, top 12.
As she underthrew the last one, she's taking a little bit more ice. You can see where she is right out in the middle of the 12-foot here.
You sure I threw a 5?
To attempt to get around here, and she'd like to get this stone right there.
Hair less.
And it's pretty easy on this little telestrator. Manya had one this morning pick.
Final stone for Colleen Jones.
It's more.
Well, she needs
Whoa,
more than the
no
first
line.
Where?
Clean. Clean.
Yeah, you got to go.
She's a little bit further out, so it may need a little bit extra weight than we saw earlier.
Still shot, but back, eh? Yep. I don't know if you can, Kim.
Well, that little extra ice that you mentioned, and it didn't break as much for her, and sits back 8.
You know, maybe though, just that little extra weight. If you throw it to the brushers, I think you get the movement. It's just a little bit too much weight. I think you would have had the curl had you thrown it to the brushers.
And now all she can do is wait.
Yeah.
You got lots of time, eh?
Well, it's been quite a night so far for this crowd here at the Agrodome. The hometown teams have done very well, with Michelle Ridgway out of the Cali, a winner over Kathy King, and Amber Holland also out of the Cali, a winner over Sherry Fraser. And now Sherry Anderson has a chance to become the 3rd Saskatchewan team to win here on this Saturday night. Final stone, it's on its way.
Clean. Yep. Clean.
Just clean.
Just clean.
And yes, we are in Saskatchewan. Anderson will pick up 2 make the final. Anderson wins it 8-6.
You had that all the way.
Well, I just didn't want to fall.
Your peel, you kind of put
both
back
teams
in
are now
there, so
1-1.
but this one you were coming
draw
right after.
2
You had it all the way.
is
Very
complete.
nice.
I'd like to say hi to Jaden and Morgan back in BC.
The 2001 Canadian Curling Trials on TSN are brought to you by the all-new 2002 Toyota RAV4. You belong outside.
So here are all the scores to complete this second draw. Sherry Madar is a winner, 9-6 over Marie-France LaRouche. Colleen Jones, well, she can look at the scoreboard and see she lost 8-6 to Sherry Anderson. Michelle Ridgway, look at that, a 2, a 3, and a 4, adds up to 11-4 win over Kathy King. Kelly Law, 2000 Canadian World Champion, now the only undefeated team. She won both her games today. And Amber Holland from also here in Regina is a 7-6 win over Sherry Fraser. So we have just one undefeated team, that's Law, and we have one winless team, that's Marie-France LaRouche. Everyone else is 1-1. The men will play twice on Sunday. Their second draw will begin 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific. Two teams that won their firsts, Kevin Martin and Bert Gretzinger. And John Wells, E. Hemmings, Kathy Gauthier will have it for you. Now on behalf of Linda, Ray, and our entire crew, it's been a terrific start, day one of these Canadian Curling Trials. This has been a presentation of TSN, Canada's sports leader.